We'll turn our attention to some pharmaceutical regulation. And Tobinco Pharmaceuticals Limited has failed to meet Food and Drugs Board Authority's December 2013 deadline to return impounded drugs to the manufacturer. The giant pharmaceutical company has since asked the FDA to extend the deadline for re-exporting the unauthorized drug currently impounded at the Tema Harbour. The drugs are part of G-Synate Plus suppositories, which the FDA is not allowing to be sold in Ghana because they have not been registered in the country. The FDA gave Tobinco a 6-day ultimatum to export the unregistered medicines back to its country of origin after the pharmaceutical company pleaded with the authority against destroying the drugs. But the pharmaceutical company Tobinco wants more time. However, the FDA has indicated that it will destroy the impounded drugs if they are not exported by close of Wednesday, December 11, 2013. Acting head of post-market surveillance and drug enforcement at the FDA, Isaka Collison Kofi, told the news team the authority will ensure the drugs were not sold to Ghanaians.
Now moving on to Parliament. Parliament has refuted allegations contained in recent media reports that MPs have been bribed with mobile phones. The leadership of the House, led by Speaker, vehemently described allegations as false and urged to correct the report. The issue was raised on the floor by a ranking member of the House and MP for Kwesimintim, who asked the Speaker to intervene.
People are saying that MPs have been given some phones as bribes, which has taken a turn that, for now, that is the best example everyone is giving.
The Speaker then came in to correct the suggestion that Parliament is being corrupted.
Initially, I was minded of referring this matter to Privileges Committee, but later on, when he gave me the explanation, I have this Gota phone about 5 years ago. And I know Parliament, staff of Parliament had this phone about 10 years ago. Yes. No, about 6. 2006. Yes, so that's about how many years? About 7 years ago. I know some staff members of Parliament have this phone about 7 years. I had mine about 5 years ago. So after the majority leader explained to me that it was the same phone that was given to the members of Parliament, I was thinking that this matter would have been taken on the floor of the House long to correct the records, as the Honourable Minority Leader rightly pointed out, but we delay.
He then invited the leaders from both sides of the House to make their submissions concerning the matter.
I think basically the issue that is raised is important. The facility that's been given to members of Parliament security facilities. They are not cell phones as such, and it's supposed to enhance the work that we do. Speaker, so that's what there is to it. And if anybody alleges that it's supposed to be bribe given to members of Parliament, I think that person would be wrong.
Even those security phones are not the property of honourable members. They actually have been assigned along constituency basis. And if any member is leaving this house, he cannot take that communication equipment away. So it's actually not a property for any individual member of Parliament. And I think we need to set that record straight. And rightly, as the member who raised the issue has said, you cannot even communicate outside the particular circuit for which is there. And Mr. Speaker will know that there are many important reasons why this additional security feature has to be introduced in the House. In fact, they are building up a database in which every member will have his number actually coded on it, and you should be able to call a member on that circuit without having to go on any other platforms.
Business then continued.
Worker unions in the country have served notice of their determination to fight the controversial sale of Merchant Bank to Fortis Equity Fund. The Industrial and Commercial Workers Union, the ICU, has scheduled meetings with other labour unions to scrutinize the deal. The General Secretary of the ICU, Solomon Kute, says the unions are prepared to reverse the sale if the due diligence process currently underway proves that the acquisition will not be in the interest of workers whose pension funds are being held at Merchant Bank through SNIT. He said there were serious implications for SNIT contributors, workers of Merchant Bank and the performance of the bank generally in the sale. Hence, labour unions were determined to ensure that all the issues were considered before the deal was completed. The Executive Board of the Trades Union Congress last month invited SNIT officials in charge of the Merchant Bank sale to a meeting demanding answers on the multi-million-dollar deal. The meeting ended inconclusively as the TUC executives expressed dissatisfaction with the answers provided to their questions.
Airtel Ghana has settled the 14,000 Ghana cedis rent owned by the Senior High Technical School for deaf, which left them threatened with eviction. The telecom firms also donated a 10 kilovolt generator to the school and paid for one extra year rent. Head of Corporate Communications, Donald Ria, explained the gesture was part of the company's pledge to support the underprivileged in communities and children in particular.
A short ceremony was held at the school's premises where the students entertained and interacted with staff of Airtel Ghana and also conducted them through their various exhibition stands to enable officials appreciate their works. The company then handed over the donation.
When the story broke from your station, Joy, it was brought to our attention by one of our staff. We said, no, we must do something about it. Because at Airtel, we incorporate our staff into our whole CSR program. Anything CSR we're going to do, staff are involved. So we pay the rents arrears up to date, so that they're not left in the current predicament. We're going to pay another 1 year's rent, so that by next year, it gives that school and everybody else who is in charge enough time to sort themselves out, so that these two peoples can continue to study and grow and become the great leaders that they're supposed to be.
An emotional headmaster, Nathan Peku, and the entire school were grateful for the gesture and described it as a Christmas present.
Sometimes we dream. Dreams don't come true. But there are times we dream and they are realized. Our joy is being fulfilled through the help of various people who have been touched by our brief remark on our plight. Our students who normally use sign language and who cannot communicate in the dark when there's power off can now have a 24-hour opportunity to communicate.
The school may have had one problem solved at least for a couple of years. Their woes are, however, not over, as the students will still continue to make the dangerous commute along the shoulders of the Brimampon Highway with the safety concerns. But these hearing impaired students could only express their joy through the sign language and danced their hearts out.
A group calling itself the Progressive Nationalist Forum has given government a 3-day ultimatum to pay up monies owed the Get Fund or face a court action. This follows a 30-day period the forum gave the Attorney General, the Minister of Finance and the President to, as a matter of urgency, make the appropriate payment to the fund. Leader of the group, Richard Nyama, says it is considering legal action to save a lot of schools from closing down. The group claims the government has diverted Get Fund monies into areas it deems important more than education.
5,653 candidates who sat for this year's major West African Senior High School Certificate examination have been punished by the West African Examination Council for various offences. This is against the 4201 and 3439 candidates caught cheating in 2011 and 2012. According to WAEC, exam malpractices had witnessed a gradual increase over the past 3 years at both the BEC and the WASI level. The 5,653 candidates were caught colluding with supervisors and invigilators, copying from each other and sending foreign materials, notebook, texts and calculators into the examination halls. There were also cases of impersonation and candidates having foreknowledge of their question papers.
We'll turn our attention to the oil industry, and an oil economist, Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam, says the country's oil revenues have so far not been efficiently managed. He said although the finance minister had, in accordance with the provisions of the Petroleum Revenue Management Act, been publishing the revenues accruing from oil, the money has so far not been efficiently managed. He argued the oil resource would not bring about the anticipated economic progress if current trends continue. He indicated that in 2013, for instance, spreading $24 million over 64 road projects covering 2,124 kilometers was not efficient spending. He explained that if government maintained the rate of disbursement of each of the projects, it would take no less than 30 years to complete. According to Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam, many projects being funded with oil revenues have suffered time and cost overruns, and in some cases the costs have doubled. Dr. Amin was speaking to the news team.
Has launched a new range of weekly and monthly integrated bundles. The newly introduced Red bundles give customers unbeatable allowances to call people on Vodafone and other networks, make international calls, and as well as browse and text for little as 5 Ghana cedis.
Yes, that's smart.
We want to formally introduce to you Vodafone Red, because Red is a really good thing.
Vodafone Ghana remains Ghana's most reliable network, offering quality network coverage for its subscribers. Red is the latest addition to the Vodafone family. Red comes in 3 categories: Red Rush, Red Hot and Red Classic, available only on Vodafone network. Customers on any of the Red bundles are promised a wide range of priority on Vodafone. Chief Executive Officer of Vodafone Ghana, Harris Bromidis, said subscribers in Ghana have suffered the inconvenience of carrying multiple SIMs for too long. This is because they have not found the value they deserve from one mobile operator. Thus, Red has been introduced to serve as a solution to all these problems.
I have to say, Red, believe me, is a good thing. And it's a good thing because it builds on a customer insight and on a customer need. Customers do not necessarily need to take with them 4 or 5 phones. They can do the job and they can fulfill their communications needs by just having one phone. And this is what Red is going to do. It's going to fulfill all communication needs in one SIM, because it gives minutes to all networks, to Vodafone networks. It gives minutes to for international calls, data, so everything in one SIM, everything in one bundle. And that's why Red is a good thing. It's very affordable. In my view, it's the most affordable solution currently in Ghana. People that they want only data, they can still have the 1 CD, but with 5 CDs a week, it's not only data, it's voice, it's text, it's international calls.
Associates of Vodafone Ghana tells Joy News what Red is all about.
Red came to being because we know Ghana is a multi-SIM country. When we say multi-SIM, we're 25 million Ghanaians right now, and over 27 million are SIM holders, meaning that everybody have about 2 or 3 SIM cards or 4 SIM cards using at the same time. We realize that is not what we're supposed to do. If somebody wants a telecom industry or telecom needs, it's supposed to be just a SIM card. So Vodafone sat down, we dip inside with some customers and realized that whatever you need to do with your phone, it should be from one SIM card. That's the reason why we brought out Red. With Red, you're empowered to do your SMS, you're empowered to do your voice, you're empowered to do your data, you're empowered to do your international calls as well, all inclusive.
Vodafone is a brand, it's a brand I love, my grandmother love, my neighbors love it, so why not? When they contacted me, I said, yes, it's a good thing. Vodafone Red is a good thing. Call me Funny Red or Red Man.
We have to go to Northern Ghana, where 3 children in that part of the country, specifically at Jrapa, are grappling with a strange skin disease that is peeling off their skin. This has made living hell for the boys, as the oldest of them, Dakura, constantly pours water on himself to just lessen the pain he feels.
This is the story of 3 siblings. They were born normal, but as time went by, they developed cracks on their skin, and what you see today is the development of what they have become. The condition, which according to their mother has been with them since birth, has been described by observers as a genetic condition. The boys have to live this way for the rest of their lives and are yet to get proper medical evaluation. The oldest of the 3 boys, Dakura, constantly pours water on himself to ease the pain the cracks on the skin brings. The youngest depends on a walking stick to move around. Narrating her ordeal, the mother said she has 5 children, out of which 3 are with a strange skin condition. The children are seen as outcasts. Neighbors perceive them as evil, but their mother is still seeking help for them. Joy News will keep you posted on this development and how you can help.
Very sad story there. And anybody who can help, please do. Very pathetic in its sense. That'll be it for the news headlines we have for you for the morning.
We'll take that quick look at the headlines again. Embattled pharmaceutical company Vodafone Pharmaceutical Limited has failed to meet the FDA December 10, 2013 deadline to return impounded drugs to the manufacturer.
The West African Examination Council punishes 5,653 candidates caught cheating in examinations for the academic periods 2011 and 2012.
And Workers Union served notice to fight the sale of Merchant Bank to Fortis Equity Fund.
Right, so those are the news headlines we have for the morning. Please get interactive. We have the social network pages on Facebook, Joy News on TV, and also 1760 is a short code for you to get communicative. On AM Biz this morning, talking about the business side of the AM show, which is live on the Joy News channel of Multi TV. We take a look at the T3 thermal plant, and we know it's at Abuaze.
Yeah.
And you want to tell us more? You seem to be a lot about VRA.
No, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
To stay.
So that's what we're looking at next on AM Biz. You have to stay with us and take a look.